Day Cleveland, I'm David Moss, and we are on the road again. And this time we're in Cuyahoga Falls. And if you haven't been here in a couple months or even a year, boy, things have changed a lot. We've got new businesses, new buildings. They even finished fixing the road right here. So now we can get around and see some really cool stuff. And that's just what Natalie is doing right now. She's up the street, just a stone's throw, checking out one of Cuyahoga Falls' biggest attractions.
And you want to sit somewhere, relax, maybe enjoy a beautiful view, you have to come to Sarah's Vineyard. I am here with Mike, the wonderful owner. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you for coming.
This is beautiful. We are situated right in the National Park area. How did you manage this one?
Well, we wrote a proposal to the National Park. We're part of the Countryside Initiative, and we were one of the first 3 farms that were granted some land. We have a 60-year lease with the park, and they bought into our proposal, and we're right across the street from Blossom here, and we planted
across the street.
Yeah.
Of course, I feel when I see wine, you got to have a cheese and meat tray too. So you have one of these as your platters.
Yes, it has different cheeses. It has a goat cheese tort. It has salami and roasted tomatoes and olives and crackers and grapes.
Now, when he mentioned that they make, what is this called again? Your meatballs and?
Yeah, we have a kind of a special thing here. We kind of coined our own phrase, and we call them raviogis.
Oh, raviogi. So there we go.
Yeah, they're a local pierogi that is made by the pierogi lady in Akron. They're an Italian pierogi, and it's our homemade pasta sauce and meatballs. The pasta sauce is my grandma Flavia's recipe.
Oh.
Now, I think you might have the Florentine right there.
Okay.
They're stuffed with spinach and cheese. And then we have another one that is stuffed with sausage and mushrooms.
That was delicious.
Oh, thank you.
That sauce, your mom knew what she was doing.
And those are our homemade meatballs also that we serve with it.
If I keep eating, I won't be able to talk to you, but they look so good. Now, when it comes to your wine, how many different varieties do you have?
We usually have about 10 different varieties on tap at a time. We have a tap system here.
I saw that.
Yeah, where we push our wine up from the cellar with nitrogen using a tap. That way our wines are low in sulfites. We don't have to sulfite our wine so much because it doesn't sit in the bottle.
So what do you have here? You have one of your blush?
This is our
wine?
blush. This is all wines from our vineyard. And this is a sweet Ohio wine. It's a blend of Concord and Niagara. It's named after my daughter Elisa, and it kind of the tagline on it, it's sweet, but like her, it's not too sweet.
I get it then. It makes sense then. It's named after your daughter. And what do we have over here?
This is one of our popular dry reds. It's called Miserable. It's Italian for miserable. And it's named after my buddy Joe.
Oh, so
that's his picture right on the label.
There are interesting stories behind all of these bottles. That is what you're telling me.
That's his ugly mug on the bottle, and
I hope he doesn't see this.
He whined and complained the entire time we were planting and building. So I said, if we ever get this actually pulled off and we open, your face is going on a bottle of wine, and we're calling it Miserable.
Well,
there
it's
it
there
is.
now. You know, speaking of names, and I want to mention the name of your location here is named after Sarah.
Yes.
What is the story behind that?
Well, it was my stepdaughter, my wife's Margaret's daughter, and she died in a car accident in 1998. So we named the vineyard and the winery after her.
It's something to keep her legacy going forever.
Yes.
And there's so many reasons to come down. The view is spectacular, I must say, as I mentioned. Now, are you open year-round?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Open year-round.
So even if it gets cold, don't think you can't. Just because we're on the patio doesn't mean you can't come and sit inside. Because we're in this beautiful big barn that you moved this barn, correct?
Yes,
to another location?
This barn used to be across the street from Cloverleaf High School, and we found a fellow, Fred Hanasek, that took it down and hauled it over here and erected the frame for us, and then we finished it. We, put the siding on, the flooring, and all the finishing touches and everything.
It's a beautiful place. The food is amazing. The wine is amazing. Plenty of reasons to come here. Again, we're just showing you one of the many reasons why Cuyahoga Falls is near and dear to our hearts because there's so many great places to come and visit. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
Yes, I would.
All right,
Yes,
come and visit him. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
Are you ready for a little celebration? How about Taco Tuesday every day of the week? That's right, we're gonna head right up the street to a place called Crave Cantina, where one little taste, you'll be sold.
Crave Cantina is something that we've been working on for quite a while. Chef that was the prep chef at Crave downtown is from Peru, and so we've been talking about doing a Latin concept. So it's everything from Central American, South American, Caribbean, a little bit Mexican, bold flavor profiles. Crave is in the middle of downtown Akron. We've been there almost 12 years. Cuyahoga Falls because I fell in love with this space. And when I first walked into it, it kind of spoke to me as it would be best served as the Latin. It's got a tin ceiling, it's got a real ornate back bar that looks Latin in nature. There is a lot of crossover. Our tagline here at Crave Cantina is globally inspired tacos and Latin fare. So we have 14 different tacos that are from all over the world. Everything from Thai curry to, Great Lakes walleye. There's a lot of chili peppers, not just spicy chili peppers. There's a lot of fun spices, corn nuts, cornmeal, a lot of fun seafood, and a lot of beef. Some things that we do at Crave in taco form here, and big dish, big seller down there is mac and cheese. We've got a Colombian version of baked mac and cheese here. The taco there is probably our best seller, walleye, that is Great Lakes beer battered, and it's got some lime tartar sauce, some pickled red cabbage, and some sweetie drop peppers. This is a ceviche up front of calamari, shrimp, and scallop with a light green curry broth and some corn nuts. The dish in the back here is from Peru. It's one of Monica's specialties. It's called causa. It's basically different flavored mashed potato cakes with a trio of seafood and an ají amarillo sauce. The roasted half chicken, pollo la brasa, it's a garlic herb marinated Peruvian roasted half chicken with yucca fries, really good. There's some common dishes. There is chicken wings on the menu, just with Latin flavors. By design, there's a Caesar salad. It's a little bit different. My wife actually handles all the bar program at both restaurants, and she came up with just some great stuff. We've got a Latin Manhattan, which has got some dark rum in it. This drink is the Smokin' Mango Margarita, and so it's got some mezcal, it's got a smoked salt rim, and some fresh mango puree. It's different, it's fresh, it's new. I think it's fun, it's not pretentious. And it's really important that when people come in here for an hour or 2 hours, that they forget about their everyday life. It's like a mini vacation.
Crave Cantina is open for dinner only during the week, and on the weekends they open at noon. Okay, when we come back, we're going to do a little flashback to the past. Well, I'm a kid in a candy store right now with Steve because we're at a place that, it says Clifford on the outside, but it looks like a gas station.
It is a gas station, actually. It was converted by my grandfather. It used to be an old mobile station. He purchased it back in 1982. We have the funeral home next door, and the plan was to just make more parking lot. But he had already been involved in collecting old cars and had a few at the time, and he had somebody suggest that he just go ahead and make that kind of a showroom for his collection.
Well, I got to tell you, I remember a lot of the stuff I'm seeing in here. I mean, we go back to the memorabilia with toys, the little fire truck the little kids used to ride around in. I had the exact same one. You see a whole bunch of great stuff here. But whenever I drive by, it seems to me there's always some great old classic car in your parking lot.
There is. Some of the gentlemen that come down and open it up, they'll bring the cars that they have down.
These are all those cars that people dream about, they wish they could own, and some guys got them. And you know what's really interesting about it? These guys like to talk about their cars, don't they?
They absolutely do. spend an entire afternoon sitting at a car show just talking about their cars and their other cars there.
Yeah, just talking about one single car. So we talk about car shows. So when is a car show here? When can people come here?
We, in the city of Cuyahoga Falls, we have what's referred to as a riverfront cruise-in. It is on Monday evenings from 4 to 7. And now they meet up on 2nd Street between Portage Trail and Oakwood. They close the road down. But during that time, we're a couple blocks away, but we always have the museum open during those hours.
You can find it. So that's May to October pretty much. And it's so easy to find this place. I mean, if there's a middle of downtown Cuyahoga Falls, I think the Clifford Car Museum might be the spot.
That's about it. It's the main exit there at Broad Boulevard. It funnels you right into us.
What's this crazy old car here?
This is a replica of a 1904 Oldsmobile. It was my grandfather ended up.
Is that your grandfather there?
That is not. There's a picture of my great-grandfather around here somewhere, though.
That's great.
Actually, over on that other side. Riding in an actual full-size model.
So I see what kind of cars we have here. We have Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles.
These are both Oldsmobiles. This is a 1956, and then that one's a 1960 over on that side.
And they are in perfect condition. And you go out into the lot, I see Chevelles out there, Mustangs, 57 Chevy. You think that's a popular car?
It could be.
Yeah, so a 57 Chevy, when they sold it brand new, what do you think they sold that for?
Oh, I would imagine you're probably in 5 to 10 range.
Yeah. So right now, if you wanted to buy that car, you have to bring a big checkbook.
That's you'd need a pretty big checkbook, and you'd probably have some guys bidding it against you.
Yeah, I saw some old Mopar products out there, a Corvette that I've never seen before, which is a custom car. So there's some custom cars here too. But if you like to check out vintage cars and talk to guys who want to talk about them all day long, Clifford Museum is the place, right?
It is.
Downtown Cuyahoga Falls. And don't forget about the big car show they have on Mondays from 4 till 7 o'clock. That's about from May till October, and always a lot of fun.
You cannot take a trip to Cuyahoga Falls without taking a stroll down Front Street. There are a variety of local businesses, including one that's owned by a mom and daughter duo. Wait until you see what they create.
All put together is a mother-daughter business. We make everything in the shop, and it's all made from reclaimed fabrics, or it's hand crocheted. So when I say reclaimed fabrics, I'm talking about it was once a wool sweater, and then now it's a handbag, or it's a baby hat, where I have cut out an applique from a wool coat, and it is hand stitched onto the hat. It was born from our curtains back here. That was the very first item that we made 22 years ago. I wanted sort of a cabin look for my home, and I wanted something that wasn't mass produced. So I said, Mom, what if we cut out some moose and some trees and some bears from wool coats? You sewed up the valances for me, and we appliqued them on the curtain. And she's like, sure, let's give it a try. And then I thought, well, if I can do that on a curtain, I can certainly make a bag. And then it just sort of blossomed from there, and our product line has really expanded. So we started with very small craft shows, and then from there we started doing bigger ones. We do beautiful shows because we love being out there with our customers. And then this little shop opened up about 3 years ago. So these are made from sweaters, and we also make bags from draperies, from pinch-pleated curtains. We have a huge line of baby hats that we all make in our family. I have 2 sisters that help me crochet, and then my mother-in-law also helps me stitch. We make scarves from draperies. We make skirts. We cut dresses apart and we add waistbands. We also do a beautiful line of Gatsby-style hats and wraps. We do vintage headbands. Sometimes I will buy a beautiful Pendleton wool blanket at an antique store, and I will hold on to it until I have a vision for it. And then other times I'll buy something and I'll know right away what I want to make. I can see in my mind just, oh, that would be perfect with a peace sign on it, or that would be perfect with a cat symbol on it. It's just the vision that I have when I see a beautiful drapery, and I know that that would make a gorgeous bag. My goal in this is to give somebody a one-of-a-kind piece that nobody will ever have again.
all put together, again, on Front Street in Cuyahoga Falls. They do take custom orders. Go online for more information. Up next, wait until you take a bite out of this breakfast. It is probably the best in town.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little good advice. If you come to Cuyahoga Falls, come hungry, because our next stop is a very cool spot with European pastries, artisan breads, great sandwiches. You're going to love it. It's called the Blue Door Cafe.
This will become a croissant. Blue Door Cafe and Bakery. We are a cafe and a bakery. We make laminated breakfast pastries, and we also make fresh bakery breads and pastries every morning. And then you can get those by coming in through the drive-thru or also in the restaurant. And then we do breakfast and lunch. What makes us a little bit unique is that a lot of restaurants say they do everything from scratch. I think we take it to another level. So anything that we serve here, as far as baked goods goes, we make that in-house. So whether it's English muffins, croissant, sourdough, any bread or anything like that, we make in-house. We focus primarily on laminated breakfast pastries, so croissant and Danish and laminated brioche and things like that.
In about another hour, we're going to shape it, and then we're going to proof it.
We make a natural sourdough, we do a Pullman loaf, sometimes we do baguette, sometimes we do ciabatta. So different breads that the restaurant uses, we make. When we first started, the space really lent itself to more than just a bakery. So I thought if I could find a chef who is as passionate about food as I am about baking, then maybe I can manage the restaurant, run the bakery, and he can do the kitchen side of the house.
All right, guys, bourbon French, chicken and waffle next, please.
We pretty much change items on our menu every week based on what my staff wants to do, based on what if something's selling really good, we'll keep that on the menu. If it's not selling, then we'll move on to something else. We do try to post updated menus on our website as well as on Facebook. When I first started the bakery, I wanted this to be a European bakery where people come into the bakery and your mouth starts watering because you see all the baked goods. Well, we're in the United States. So the space kind of lent itself to a drive-thru. We open the drive-thru at 6 a.m., whereas the restaurant opens at 8. So you can get coffee, cappuccino, lattes, mochas, espressos, and then any baked goods from 6 to 8 through the drive-thru. This is probably the culminating achievement of my life. And I realized that when I got into this business, so I really want to make this something very special.
Some more good news, the Blue Door Cafe is easy to find. It's on State Road.
It's time to step inside the best smelling shop in Cuyahoga Falls. This is Sister Scented Candles.
Sister Scented Candles is a small company that a friend and I started in 2003 because we were sick and tired of buying candles that did not burn like they told us they were gonna. They didn't have any fragrance to them. They put out a lot of black smoke and soot. And they were so very, very expensive. And we thought, wait a minute. Everybody is telling us all these things their candles are going to do, and they don't. That means somebody should be able to figure out how to do it. It took us a while, but we did it. So our candles burn all the way down, all the way out to the edges. You never cut our wick because it's self-trimming. It reduces the soot 98%. And there's no black smoke because they are 100% food quality soy wax. I have unusual scents. Like right now, in the pouring pitcher over here cooling off, I have got a fresh baked bread. And it smells like it's in the oven when it burns. It is so real. I am very, very picky about my fragrances. I get in my mind what that fragrance should smell like. I work with it until it reaches that goal. My fresh cut rose is like you're in a garden of roses. My snickerdoodle. The story on that is someone that helped me one day came running in very happy. I'm so happy I sold a dozen candles last night. I said, that's great. What's going on? She goes, oh, it's a dozen snickerdoodles. I just went, oh, we don't have a snickerdoodle candle. She goes, well, I figured you could make it. And I thought, what am I going to do to make this candle? I got my cookie recipe. And I followed it with fragrance oils as closely as I could. My candle smells exactly like a snickerdoodle cookie. I just keep working at it till it hits the trigger that, yes, that's it. Mine will smell like their name. I normally will pour 4 or 6 candles per pitcher. I don't do large batches. I keep them small. I do them by weight. Fragrance is done by weight. This is a wax melter that I use to keep the temperature. It's a little over where I want it to pour. That way I've got time to work with it. The funny thing is I used to make candles in the 70s, the 80s. And then I quit. And then it came back into my life. And I thought, okay, this must be what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Sister Scented Candles is on Portage Trail in Cuyahoga Falls. When we come back, we are talking retro candy and gum. Wait until you see this. Welcome back to our trip here in Cuyahoga Falls. I absolutely love this town, and this is one of the reasons why. I am here at Yum Yum Sweet Shop. I have Keith with me and his beautiful daughter, Joy. Now, I must say, this is not my first time visiting you. No. I was at your old location years ago when it was just about gum, and you guys...
A lot has changed, hasn't it?
A lot has changed. Yes. Remember when I went out on the wall?
Oh, yes, the gum wall. The gum wall, the very messy, sticky, gross gum wall. Everyone loved it. We don't have one here, though, because it was pretty messy, but yes.
So I went out there. I had Joy with me. I had your sister with me. And we went out and we put it on the gum wall. Now, I will never forget that moment.
That's good.
Let me tell you, for as long as I live. But you have really upped your game. It's not just about the gum anymore.
It's all about candy and gum. Yes, so we still have all the gum that we sold before. We still carry it, but we sell lots of candy now. We've expanded to candy, soda, almost anything with sugar, really. So,
but the gum is where it all started. Joy, what's your favorite gum?
Probably cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon. So I know you have over 100 different kinds.
We do. We still make 100 different kinds of gum.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we try to carry everything. So we carry.
You have coffee. What else you got here? Double mint.
Yeah, just the double mint, but we carry
flavors like clove.
We still got our sour boogers, which is very popular. The sour boogers is, it's just a sour gum. Our most popular still is the chocolate brownie. Chocolate brownie, which is around the other side. We sell a beer gum, just all kinds of different flavors.
No alcohol included? The kids
No
can have
alcohol.
That?
Kids can have it if they like beer, which I haven't met a whole lot that do, but yeah.
So this really has been your passion. You've kept it up here. Do you love it here? Because this is, you're right on Front Street, such a prime location,
We do love it here. We're not far from where we started initially. When we were selling the gum, we had lots of requests for different candies. So started selling just a few oddball candies, and I thought, at the time, let's open a full-fledged candy store. So my mom and I opened a candy store in Peninsula, so about 15 minutes from here. And then with the street opening back up, we thought, what a wonderful opportunity to come back to Cuyahoga Falls and do it here. Cuyahoga Falls is home for us. We love it here, so we wanted to be a part of this. And
I see why. You have a prime location too, I must say. Right on the corner here at Front Street. Now you mentioned your mom and how much she loved this as well.
Yes.
So Mom's over here in the store too. We're going to introduce you to her right now, and we're going to make something behind the counter, I heard too.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, Mama's Apples. Hi, honey.
It's so good to see you. So this is where we find you all the time, back making the cotton candy?
Yes. I try.
It looks so good, too. Look, now what flavor is that?
This is the Blue Raz. This is our favorite, our popular one.
Where can you find a local candy shop where you could come and get fresh cotton candy too?
Here. Again,
this is it.
Right
this
here.
is the place. I've never seen this done before, and that's what makes you guys so special. So it's not just about the gum anymore. You really have, it's cotton candy, but when you look at the store, I mean, you really have expanded, and a lot of nostalgic things that you have here too when it comes to candy, right?
Yes, we try to bring in all the retro candies. If someone mentions a candy more than 3 times, I'm on the hunt for it.
Really?
I know that I have to have in the store. And then what I do is I post it on Facebook, and I have all these people come running in. Wacky Wafers is my latest. I just brought it in on Thursday, and I've sold a whole box. I mean, people want the old retro candies. They want to see them. Brings back memories.
Oh, when I walk through here at the wafers, the little dots that you peel off of the paper, the whistle pops. I mean, it does. It makes you think of times when, well, things were simple and easy, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure, now I know she said to me, I don't want to start crying when I talk to you. But the reason why you get so emotional is why I know there's a reason behind it.
Yes. I love the fact that I get these little kids, they stand at the front door and they yell, candy, candy, candy. Okay, we are making memories. We're making memories with the kids. And we're also bringing back memories. People my age come in and they reminisce about how they used to go to a candy store with their 5 cents and buy the candies, the Necco wafers, and the things we have in here. So I feel like we're bringing memories to young and bringing back memories to the older. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense, and I can see why you get emotional over that. And not only is it just that you're doing that for families, but I feel like you're doing it for your own family in a way too, because there's Keith,
my girls,
Joy and her sister. Joy, come here real quick. I just love the fact that as a family, you have really kept this tradition going. Are we going to see you working here someday? Yes?
Yes.
Now, are we going to have to fight over this cotton candy? Because I heard cotton candy is your absolute favorite thing in the store, right? So do you think the kids should come in here and check this place out? I love you guys. I love being here. I miss you. I'm not going to wait another 4 years before I come see you again, okay? I will be here. They're right on Front Street. They have an amazing location, Yum Yum Sweet Shop. This is the place to come if you want to reminisce.
Well, Cuyahoga Falls is full of a lot of surprises, so don't be surprised if you run into Bigfoot. That's right, he's sort of the downtown mascot here, and you may find him at the social department.
Social Department is a local regional and city pride t-shirt company. Sort of started as a side project to our graphic design studio, and we're now somehow 11 years in, and just, you know, it started sort of as a way to, you know, produce pride or show pride for Ohio, living outside of Ohio. And then now over time, it's sort of grown to become a very, you know, hyper local thing, especially with the shop. I like to think we have a little bit of a different take. Obviously, the t-shirt world is a very busy world. I think we come from a typography background, as opposed to, you know, say an illustration or a fine art background. And obviously those work their way in, but most of our shirts start from a sort of concept and typographical approach, which I think is a little bit different than a lot of the ones that are out there. And then, you know, if illustration or images work their way in, that's fine. It's not like we're against it or anything, but we take pride in the fact, I think, that, you know, they're sort of built from a strong concept and then a strong typography. Even if it starts hand illustrated, usually we sort of work it into a vector-based or a illustration on the computer. And then from there, it's pretty much, we do everything in-house. So from there it goes to transparencies, which then leads to screen burning, and then pretty much ready to go. I like the fact that I could just, You know, step away from a computer for a couple hours and start printing. So that's a big thing. We've had a lot of people over time like, why don't you just send it out, have somebody print it, you know, and even have worked with great printers in Cleveland and Akron area and stuff that have helped us on huge, like, you know, 5,000 print runs or something like that. But it's when they're small and it's something we can manage, we prefer to do it because it's fun to be able to say we did all of this. When we would mess up, you know, with an online order, it's basically it can't go, so it goes in a pile and becomes a rag. At our shop, we have a little joking stash we call the yard work tees, and it's basically we put them at almost the cost, pretty much. We make nothing off them, but they're kind of fun. And as we mess up, we sort of put designs over top. Excuse me, so it becomes like test prints essentially. So they're kind of fun, and it's fun to watch people go through them. When we started with the social department brand, we thought, well, you know, it'd be fun to have a mascot of some kind. As a kid, I always loved, you know, sort of the goofiness behind it and, you know, the questioning of it or whatever. So we sort of brought Bigfoot into the logo. And one of our logos, actually, we still sort of use it as an icon, but it's just Bigfoot roaming the entire U.S. and it's, you know, sort of, you know, it's kind of a cool mark of what we do essentially. It never gets old, that's for sure, you know, and it's really fun now, you know, like I said, that we've brought it a little bit more local because you know, then you see them more, you know, so to be out and about and see them, it's still super fun, and you know, we have a lot of friends that are big fans, I guess, or you know, or order a lot, I should say. And so then it's fun to see them out, and then they're, you know, it sort of spirals for sure. Then their friends sort of see them that way. Never been in our shop, but they see our friends wearing them.
And of course, you can shop the social department online, but don't forget the physical store is right here on Front Street. Coming up, we're going to check out a landmark market.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland and our road trip here in Cuyahoga Falls. We are making a stop now at one of the city's gathering places.
We kind of always joked about, and it was kind of serious joking, let's open a brewery. We're going to open a brewery. I'm going to quit my job and open a brewery. And one day my wife and I were just talking. She's like, you know, if we're going to do this, we need to do it now. So we started looking around at different spots, and we came to this one, and the view was just gorgeous. We came back here and saw the river and thought this would be a place that we would want to go to. Our tap room's very kind of quaint. It's not a large tap room. We have a pallet wall that we have in our tap room and out on our patio, and those pallets were all from the equipment that all of our brewing equipment came on. So we cut those down, cleaned them up, and then put that on our walls, just kind of as a reminder of, you know, this is kind of where we started from.
We opened with 10 beers, basically 10 different styles. We have anything from a very light beer that's a very approachable beer for people who are quote-unquote non-craft beer drinkers, which is a Kolsch style. It's a German ale, and it's based upon kind of a Pilsner backbone, but it's a little bit different just because of the yeast that it's fermented with. And that ranges anywhere from there to, I think what's been selling the fastest here is we do a New England style IPA, which is a hazier beer. It's a very hop forward, fruit forward beer. Fruit flavors all originate from the hops. We don't do anything with additions to fruit to that beer. But that beer has been probably the most popular here. It's been selling almost twice as much as anything else that we have on. I think the important thing is the questions that I ask when I'm behind the bar or talking to people about beer is just trying to get a grasp on what kind of flavor profiles they like, because we do try to brew a beer that will hit a certain profile for everybody. We do flights of like 4 or 5 ounce pours, so we can, you know, suggest try these and then come back with something that was either a yes or no. We know not everybody's going to like everything. I'm a beer person and I don't love every style. I drink a pretty vast amount, but there are some that I don't care for. So
we kind of went back and forth the idea, do we bring our own chef in, do we try and do it ourselves? And the end of the day, I just wanted it to be our identity. So we took some different ideas, and I love to cook, so I started playing around with ideas to have in the kitchen. So we wanted to have salads, we wanted to have wraps, some stuff on a little bit of the healthier fare instead of having your typical bar food, fried wings and fried food. So we also kind of want to keep things local. We have vegan options, we have gluten-free options. Our chicken fingers that we serve in-house that are really good, and they're gluten-free and all natural. So just kind of want to give it a little bit of a healthy flair to it, but also have stuff that would be inviting to people to come in and be able to come on a day, and if they wanted to eat a dinner here, they could and enjoy it. We also do pizzas. It was really neat the other day. We heard somebody talking, and we have these communal tables that have about 10 seats, and I don't want to say they kind of force people to sit next to each other, but you know, inherently people will end up next to people that they don't know and start talking. And I heard somebody say they left here and had 3 new friends on social media because of the experience.
Mystic Mountain Brewing Company is right here on Front Street. They open at 4 o'clock during the week, and on the weekends they open up even earlier.
Once in a while, even though you've driven through an area a ton of times, you miss some of the best stuff there is. And I think Kriegers may be the best thing I've seen in Cuyahoga Falls so far.
Well, thank you very much.
And this is Mrs. Krieger. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
How long have you been here?
55 years.
55 years, but the produce is fresher than that, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't have a couple days with that.
Yeah. This is one of those stores that started as a farmer's market, right?
It did.
And how did it grow into what it is today?
It just evolved. You know, we started out with just produce and the basic produce like potatoes, carrots, head lettuce, things like that. Now we've expanded into vitamins and into grocery and into extensive line of cheese and all those different things.
Anything you can imagine for great food is here. It's like I came in, I was thinking, like, what am I going to have for dinner? Well, I had a good idea, and I came in here, now I want to have everything for dinner. like who's the bakery? The bakery stuff looks fantastic.
That is Troyer's Pantry. Mm-hmm. And we've had them in here, I think, practically 50 years now.
Yeah. And they're beautiful, fresh-looking pies and all the dough goods and such. And the deli looks like that probably grew from nothing too, huh?
Yeah, that started in 1986, and yes. Mm-hmm. Now the deli has a lot of items that no MSG, no nitrites, no nitrates, very, very healthy.
That explains your healthy glow.
Well, I do eat all the produce. So.
Well, when I came in on the other end of the store, and they had some really specialty items there, like pickles, pickled cucumbers, pickled this, pickled that, pickled everything. They had rhubarb syrup.
Yes.
I mean, those little hard to find cool items, you sort of specialize in that too, don't you?
Yes, yes. And a lot of them are Ohio.
Yeah, so it's a lot of Ohio stuff.
Throughout the store, you'll find Ohio. Mm-hmm. Great deal of it.
I noticed too when I pulled in, I saw in the window, it talked about organic coffee. So if you need coffee, so you're sort of a one-stop kind of market then. I mean, this is just the farmer's market. When you come here, you don't need to go to the big box stores.
You don't need to, no.
She said, don't go. So this is one of those road trips you might want to take on a Saturday or Sunday. If you live in Parma somewhere or East Lake or somewhere you want to drive out this way, you get off at Graham Road, right?
That's right.
Graham Road, and you go west, and you'll find Kriegers here.
We are the big red barn with the silo.
Can't miss it. It's a great crew out here. Check it out. More New Day Cleveland coming up after the break.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland and our road trip here in Cuyahoga Falls. We have one more stop, and this boutique is one that brings together all types of businesses owned by women.
Samias is a boutique that is named after my godmother. and we were in Talmadge for 7 years under a different name, Conversations. And we moved here, opened January 23rd under a new name and a new look. The look there was very kind of Victorian, and here it's way more urban. So, and it's a boutique for women of all sizes. That's why we have a sign that says, "What's in your closet?" Because we want women to find clothing that's comfortable and something that they could match up with other different pieces and be very comfortable. That's the main thing. You'll find a lot of different things. You'll find an art space that is full of very colorful local art. We have classes, so we promote having women come in, typically women, come in, sit for an evening and make a piece of art that they could take home and hang up that evening. You'll find clothing, you'll find locally made jewelry, a jewelry artist that's been with us for over 5 years. You'll find products like Pure Enchantment that's from Cleveland, all natural. You'll find essential oils, you'll find soaps that are all natural, vegan, Brighton jewelry, which our customers really enjoy. We want women to find other women. So by connecting, whether it's in a class or coming into the shop and finding out that we have meditation on Tuesday nights, or that an art class is next Tuesday or Wednesday, they start connecting with like-minded people. And from that, we've done things like fundraisers for the Battered Women's Shelter, or we found different products that women find that they really like, just by connecting other women. I had the pleasure of having Russ Vernon from West Point Market be a mentor for a little while. And when he walked in, he said, "You've got the feeling that makes you feel like you're going to have an experience." And that's what we want them to have. We want them to have an experience. There were 2 ladies in here today that had breakfast at Flurry's, and they came in and they said, "We could be here for hours," just because there's so many different things to see and to touch and to feel, and they went out of here and they had a great time. That's what we want them to do. We want them to have a great time. They're going to find something that's made, very well made, locally, that when they give it to someone, or if they take it home and give it to their wife, or if they just decide, "I have to have this," something that they couldn't find somewhere else.
That's going to do it for our road trip here in Cuyahoga Falls. I say get out and explore. You're just about 40 minutes away from downtown Cleveland. So quit doing the things that you're always used to doing. Come down here in Cuyahoga Falls, explore something new. There are so many great places to visit, to eat, to shop. And if you want to see these all again, or you might have missed something and you just want to watch it one more time, you can go to our New Day Cleveland YouTube channel. And again, we have a complete list of all of our stops on our page at fox8.com. Just click on the New Day tab. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. On behalf of David Moss, I'm Natalie Herbeck, and we will see you on the next New Day Cleveland.